So what is going on, guys? Welcome to another Garden Warfare 2 video. Today we're going to be taking a look at all of the plants and zombie bosses that we have seen in Garden Warfare 2 so far. Now we have some new ones that we are going to be taking a look at today. We're going to be talking about the old bosses in Garden Warfare 1 coming to Garden Warfare 2 as well. But before we get into the video, I just want to say a big thank you on the support on yesterday's video. We broke down the Backyard Battleground video and also the Computer Scientist gameplay video to find all of the variants that we have seen in the gameplay so far. And we did find quite a lot of variants, and I did ask for 500 likes, and we've managed to get over 1,000 likes. So I just want to say a big thank you to the support on that video. If we could get maybe 500 likes on this video as well, that would be absolutely amazing. But anyway, let's get straight into this video. So I first want to start talking about the bosses from Garden Warfare 1. If you played Garden Ops in Garden Warfare 1, you would be familiar with a lot of the bosses. These are the Yeti, the Gargantua, the Disco Zombie, there is also Baron Von Bats. Well, all of these bosses are coming to Garden Warfare 2. So if you play Garden Ops in Garden Warfare 2, you will also have these bosses to be able to battle against, but there will also be some new bosses. But before I get into the zombie bosses, I just want to talk about the plant bosses that we have seen so far. So we've seen two of them so far. The first one is the Giga Torchwood. We saw this in the Graveyard Ops demo. We do also see this in the Backyard Battleground gameplay. You can see it on screen now, and it seems to be firing some flames out of its mouth. Now, I believe it has a weapon on its arm as well, so it can also fire at range as well as do some fire damage at a close range. So it doesn't matter whereabouts you are on the map, this could do either short range damage or long range damage, so you need to make sure that you can battle this guy. But he is a big target, so he's going to be pretty easy to hit. The next boss we have is a giant laser bean. Now this name of the boss is called Super Bean. It has a red cape around it, which of course makes it super, and it has a kind of blue force field around the character. Now what I'm thinking is you need to take down this force field first before you can damage this bean. Now whether we need to use an ability to do this, which I don't think you would, because of course you need a specific character to be able to take it down. So what I'm thinking is you may need to damage it quite a lot before this force field will be taken down, and then once the force field's down, you can then damage the Super Bean boss itself. Now we don't know if this force field can recharge, or once it's down, it's down. That's something we're going to have to find out, but this definitely seems to be a force field that protects the laser bean or the Super Bean for a period of time. And one last thing I do want to mention, funnily enough, I managed to get this costume in Plants vs Zombies 2 the other day. I tweeted it out saying this looks familiar. It was a laser bean wearing a red cape. There wasn't a force field, but that is where they got the design of this boss from. It would have been from the costume in Plants vs Zombies 2. So those are the plant bosses that we have seen so far. We have the Giga Torchwood and also the Super Bean. I'm sure there's going to be more of them when the game is launched. We just haven't seen many of them just yet. But if you are playing Graveyard Ops or you're playing Flag of Power as a zombie, these are some of the bosses that you are going to be up against. Now we're going to take a look at the zombie bosses, and like I did say earlier, we're going to be getting all of the zombie bosses from Garden Warfare 1. That's the Gargantua, the Yeti, it's also the Disco Zombie and Baron Von Bats. But we have some brand new bosses we're going to be taking a look at. The first one we are going to be taking a look at is the Zen Sensei. We did see this the other day in the solo play gameplay, and this kind of is a zombie that can multiply himself, so you have more targets you need to hit. He seems to be able to punch you as well, and he seems to be some kind of kung fu kind of zombie. So he doesn't have a ranged attack, I don't believe. He just has a melee attack, but of course he can multiply himself, so you have more targets you need to hit. The next boss we have is a Gargantuar Prime. Now you can see this in the top left, and it seems to be a robotic version of the Gargantua. Now we get this in Plants vs Zombies 2 from the far future, and this is a robotic Gargantua. Now one thing I want to know about this, is there anything different about it apart from the way it looks? Is it going to be more effective to use an EMP on this Gargantua? Because of course if it's a robotic electrical thing, then the Citron's EMP kind of disables electronics. So is that going to be really effective against this Gargantua, or will it not? Now also, is it going to have some new abilities? Because we do see it charge towards the barbecue corn at the bottom, and it seems to smash its arms on the floor, and there is kind of this electrical charge. Now we kind of got that with the normal Gargantua in Garden Warfare 1, because he does have that kind of electric staff with him. But what I'm curious about is that, is this just a ranged one, or can this only charge at you? Because it doesn't seem to have a weapon from what we see in its arm, so that's something we're going to have to wait for. Now the next one we're going to be taking a look at is the final one, and we can see this in the top right, and this is a Gargantua carrying what looks to be the front of a house. Now this seems to be like an armoured kind of Gargantua, which is not very good, seeing as Gargantuas already have a lot of health. But the good thing about this is it seems to have a kind of porthole window at the front where you can fire the Gargantua's head from. but the best thing about this is it seems to be holding the house with both its hands, so it doesn't have an electrical staff with it, so it doesn't look like it can be a ranged Gargantua. It seems to be just a more protective Gargantua, but it doesn't have a ranged attack. Now, I'm wondering if it's going to charge forward and bash the floor like it did in Garden Warfare 1 with its electric staff, but of course because it's got this house, it doesn't look like it's going to have a ranged attack. But I'm curious if it can maybe throw this house at you, walk over to it and maybe pick it up again. I don't know, we're going to have to wait and find that out, because Plants vs Zombies are pretty crazy. They come up with some crazy ideas, so we're going to have to wait and see for that. But those are the brand new zombie bosses as well. We have the Zen Sensei, we have the Gargantuar Prime, and we also have this Gargantua carrying a house, which seems to be more of a defensive kind of protective Gargantua, which definitely is not good news. But anyway, that is it for this video. Let me know in the comments down below which one of these is your favourite, and also if you are new to my channel, make sure you do subscribe. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a like, because it really helps out my channel, shows me that you are enjoying these videos and that you do want to see more. Thank you very much for watching this video. My name is ZEROxFUSIONZ, and I'll catch you guys next time.